Hey, welcome to Craft Central Designs. My name is Dwynn. Look at this beautiful Easter wreath I will be sharing with you today. It's so lovely in the natural light, resting on my wreath easel outside. I wanted you to see the beautiful colors in the natural light. Welcome back to my current subscribers and to everyone who may consider becoming a subscriber as you watch this video. This is a very easy, very colorful, inexpensive Easter wreath to make, made primarily from Dollar Tree items. Okay, let's get busy with this tutorial and learn how to make this very lovely, very colorful Easter wreath. Okay, let's look at the items you'll need to make this wreath. We have a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath form in silver. And you probably recognize this bunny if you're a Dollar Tree enthusiast. It's a nice wood-shaped bunny. And you're going to need a piece of fabric. This is in particular is fleece, but you could use a rolled batting or any fabric that's really, really soft. You're going to need 4 colors of Deco mesh, 2 rolls per color, some mesh tubing, 1 package, and some ribbon. Of course, we're going to be making a couple of bows. You'll need some pipe cleaners and a pair of scissors. All right, let's get busy preparing our bundles. First, we have to cut our Deco mesh. I just used a rotary cutter, and I cut in 12-inch long sections of all 4 colors. Now I have all of my Deco mesh cut, and my pipe cleaners, I have a stack of pipe cleaners that I cut in half. So we're going to start preparing our bundles. We're just going to simply be coiling our Deco mesh and preparing bundles with 3 colors each bundle. Now, as you go along, you're going to mix your colors. So pay attention as you create your bundles that you are varying your colors, and be sure that you are including all of the colors equally, if you will, so that when you go to put all these Deco mesh bundles on your wreath, you'll have some uniformity. There you see, this time for my bundle, I chose a white, a pink, and I believe an orchid, yes. Okay, so we're going to roll those up. Simply, I put mine between my fingers, or you can also use a clip. That works as well, too. And then I take my pipe cleaner, wrap it around, give it a twist. Try to have the tails of the pipe cleaner pretty much equal so that when you go to apply it to the wreath, you have the equal tails to twist around the back. I've already done half the wreath. Is that gorgeous or what? Those colors are magnificent. I am in love with those colors. And here we have a nice tray full of more bundles to complete the wreath. All right, so what we're going to be doing is applying these bundles to the wreath form. Now you notice I kind of squashed that bundle in my hand. I like to push the coils together and then grab the pipe cleaner and apply it to the wreath wires. Now there's a row of 4 wires. I use this second wire from the outside, then I use the third wire, then I use the second, then the third, and that's how I apply my bundles. Notice how I'm varying the colors. That's very important. And you just press your bundle up tight to the wire of the wreath frame and twist it in the back. And as you go along, as you go along, You just push the bundles up against the previous one. You want a nice solid application of Deco mesh. Look how beautiful that is. Oh my gosh. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so what we're going to do is take a sharpened pencil and we're going to trace around this bunny on the fabric because we are going to apply this fabric to the bunny with Mod Podge. So I go around the bunny and just trace it out with a pencil. And now I'm going to apply the Mod Podge. I have that fabric all laying on top of that wood cutout. I put a little Mod Podge on my paper plate and I use a sponge applicator. Now I'm just going to be doing one section at a time with a nice generous coat, not too thick but not too thin either, all the way out to the edges. And you just press that fabric down and notice how I press the fabric out to the edges. That's very important because you don't really want that wood to be showing through. It's white on the top, but along the edges it's a wood color. So you want to try and get your fabric all the way out to the edges so you have a nice finished look. You won't get any bubbles with this fabric, but see how I press the fabric all the way out to the edges with my fingers? This Mod Podge is excellent for applying fabric to a wood surface. And I finished all that up, and now here I have my fabric applied to my wood bunny with Mod Podge. Now I wanted to add an embellishment to this, and I have used this twine before. I got this from Dollar Tree. If you saw my burlap bunny video, you saw where I applied that twine around the paws of my burlap bunny. Well, now I'm going to outline this bunny with the purple and white striped twine. And I'm using my little tiny glue applicator that I use for quilling. And this is perfect because it gives you just the tiniest stream of glue. And that enables you to apply your twine without a messy glue situation going on. It's a very tiny stream. I just absolutely love this glue applicator. The glue that's inside is just simply an Elmer's glue, but it works really wonderfully to apply this twine to outline this very cute bunny. And the orchid color in the twine picks up the orchid in the wreath. I'm going to show you in just a second here how cute this looks up close. This part's a little bit tedious, but worth the effort. You see? See how cute that looks? I thought the bunny just needed a little something. All right, so here we go. Look how cute that twine is outlining that bunny. Now we're going to put a bow around the neck of this bunny. I'm not going to apply anything on the face. This is just going to be a white silhouette, if you will. And I'm just going to have a bow around the neck. Now, you might have noticed on the finished wreath that you saw at the onset of this video that it was a purple ribbon, in fact, that I put around the neck. In the aftermath of looking at the wreath and its completion, I decided I really wanted that bow to be purple instead of pink. So I did change that, but this is exactly how I made the purple bows, so it's the same process. 3 loops on each side. And I'm just going to take a little piece of wire. On my little tiny bows like this, I generally just use a very thin wire as opposed to a pipe cleaner. This is going to be a little mixed ribbon bow that's going to be applied to the neck of the bunny. And I cut off that wire. This was a Dollar Tree ribbon, I believe. It was very pretty. A pretty ribbon, but I just decided purple was better. And this is a very cute little ribbon that I picked up at Dollar Tree. It has Easter eggs on it and all the colors in the wreath. So it is just really perfect to put as a bow on the neck of the bunny. And this bow, I believe, is 3 loops on each side as well. Yes, it was. Let's see how I shape my loops as I go. This isn't a bow tutorial. I am going to be making a bigger bow in a bit, you'll see here. And I do give quite a bit of instruction with that one. Be sure to watch my how to make a bow video and how to make a mixed ribbon bow. It'd be very helpful if you would do that for just understanding the technique. I make all my bows the same way, and this is just a really awesome technique for making bows. So it'd be an awesome idea if you would watch those videos, being that I use so many bows in my projects. I'm putting a little loop in the center. I call that the button. And I just take my wire and stick it through the loop and secure all of my loops there. This little bow is going to be applied to the base bow, which is the pink bow. So we'll have a little mixed ribbon bow on the neck of the bunny. And I cut off the tails. That bow is going to be applied to the pink bow, which is the base of the bow. This really adds a lot of cuteness to this bunny. I use a piece of wire to connect those 2 bows together. We put it right through the button or the loop, the center loop of the bow, bring it around to the back, give it a twist, and they are now combined. And I could snip that wire off because I'm actually going to be hot gluing that bow right to the bunny, so I don't need the tails of that wire. Look how cute that's going to be. All right, so that mesh tubing. I really love to use mesh tubing on a Deco mesh wreath. And what I like the tubing for is to just create another texture or a visual interest to the bow, or to the wreath, I'm sorry. So I make these just very quickly, these 4 loop Deco mesh tubing bows, if you will. And what I do with these is just push them down into the wreath, so all you really see is little loops poking up in between the Deco mesh coils. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a little bit. But anyway, you don't have to obsess too much over the way these look, because they're just really meant to provide, like I said, some little loops that's going to be poking up through the Deco mesh, and they don't have to be perfect. I just use a pipe cleaner to secure them. I think I made 8 of those because I'm just going to be placing them here and there on the wreath, which you'll see in a little bit. Okay, this ribbon came from Hobby Lobby, and I love this ribbon because it picks up all the colors in the wreath, plus it adds a couple of more colors. So I really like that. Okay, so we're going to make a bow, but this bow isn't going to go directly on the wreath. And I'll show you what I mean, what we're going to do with this bow in just a little bit. But let's just get busy making the bow first. Okay, so you notice that I keep my fingers, my index finger and my thumb right in the center, and all of my loops go underneath or in between my thumb and my index finger. That's how I'm holding all these loops together as I construct this bow. This is going to be a 3 loops on each side for the first layer. I always twist my ribbon so that I have the good side up. Most ribbons have a right side and a wrong side, if you will. Now, I'm going to do 2 loops on each side and 1 loop that's going to be resting on the 2 loops a little bit smaller. This is just a variation on the basic bow that I always make. We're going to secure those loops with a pipe cleaner, twist it around in the back. Now I need something down the middle. So I'm going to create a loop, or what I call the button. So I twist my ribbon, and I'm going to fold it over and under and catch it with my thumb. Let me show you again. Fold it, and I catch it with my thumb underneath, and now it's secure with my fingers. I'm going to take that tail of the pipe cleaner, press it right through the button, bring it around to the back. Now everything is connected and secure. Twist it in the back, and here you have, in actuality, a 3-loop bow on each side and a button or a loop right down the center. We're going to match up the length of the tails there. Now we have one tail on top, the other one on the bottom. So what we have to do is twist that so you have the right side up. Just push it right through the button or the middle loop. Pull it down. Bring your tails together, and I angle them, of course. You could dovetail if you like. You do you. And I shape my bow. Beautiful. Very nice. All right, now this, as I mentioned, this bow is not going directly on the wreath. It's going to be part of the hanger for the wreath. And what's going to be hanging the wreath and attaching to the bow is just simply a section of that same ribbon. And that's how the wreath is going to hang. Very pretty like this. You could, if you didn't want to use Hobby Lobby ribbon, or you couldn't find a suitable ribbon, you can use a solid color ribbon. That's easy to find anywhere. So what I do is about 3 to 4 inches from the top, the very top of the wreath, I go up about 3 to 4 inches, and I'm going to pinch that ribbon together, just like so. And I'm going to take a pipe cleaner. What would I do without pipe cleaners? I can't even imagine. All right, so we're going to wrap that around a few times. Make it nice and secure there. Give it a twist. And we could snip that off. And then what we're going to do is attach that bow to the top of that piece of ribbon that's holding the wreath. This looks beautiful on a door. Oh my gosh, I just absolutely love a deco mesh that's hung in this manner. It's beautiful. First, we're going to put our bunny on though before we attach that bow. Now what I like to do is I don't want the bunny just sitting right on top of the deco mesh. What I do is go around the bunny and pull the deco mesh away from the bunny, trying to just nestle it down there a little bit. So it's not just sitting directly on top of the deco mesh. So I actually went around this bunny. I don't think I showed you that in its entirety, but I did go around the bunny and just pull the deco mesh away and just kind of embed that bunny right in the deco mesh. So I wanted to have a ribbon across the neck of this bunny. And again, I ended up changing this to a purple ribbon, but I'm still showing you the same process that I went through, even with the purple ribbon. So I take a little bit of hot glue, put a string of hot glue there, and I cut the ribbon to match the curve of the bunny exactly, and I just press that down. Now we're going to take our bow and we're going to put a dab of, looks like I'm going to do something else first here, sorry. Okay, again, I'm messing around with those deco mesh coils because, now I'm back to the, oh goodness me. Okay, so I guess I'm putting the bow on now. I get sidetracked. You know, I think I was starting to put the bow on, and then all of a sudden I realized that I wanted to do something with the deco mesh. So it's hard to follow my own process here. Now I did stick all of my deco mesh tubing in where I wanted to place it, just to make sure that I knew where I was going to place it before I glued it on. Now I'm going around, and wherever the deco mesh pressed up against the bunny, I just put a little dab of glue. This is how we're going to secure the bunny to the deco mesh wreath. I went around the whole bunny just like that. And this held it on extremely well. Okay, so now I guess I'm going to put the little mesh tubing and apply it to the wreath. I put a little dab of glue, and I take my scissors. Now you can use anything like a dowel or whatever you have that you could just push that down in there. You're going to really push it down in there in between the deco mesh. So all you really see is those loops poking up and the tails of the mesh tubing. I just really like that look. It adds a little bit of texture and dimension. So I'm going to go around the wreath, and wherever I rested a mesh tubing bundle or bow, I'm just going to go around and hot glue that in. There are a lot of strings from that deco mesh. So after I completed the wreath, I went around and just snipped off all of those frayed edges. I also went around and cut any of the tails of my mesh tubing just to straighten that up a bit. Okay, now we're going to apply that bow to the ribbon hanger. So I put a blob of glue on there, but I also have that long pipe cleaner there, which I'm going to as well wrap around that section of ribbon that's hanging the wreath. I hold that on there until it dries. Then I come around the back. So I'm actually attaching that bow right to that piece of ribbon that's acting as my hanger for my wreath. I twist it around a few times. Now it's very secure. Now with that leftover pipe cleaner, I'm going to create a loop. And that's how we're going to hang this wreath. This wreath is extremely light. So this bow or this loop is very adequate to hold that wreath. And there you have it. It's all attached. And you have something to hang it by. And again, going around snipping off all of those crazy Dollar Tree Deco mesh hairs, I call them. I loved the Deco mesh from Dollar Tree, but it has that quality about it that it's very easy to fray. So then I went around the back of the wreath and I took a wire cutter and I just snipped off all of those pipe cleaners, and then I bent them under. You can also cover the back of your wreath with a piece of felt. You have to go around the ring, but you can cut pieces of felt. And here you have this incredibly cute, beautiful Easter bunny wreath. See the purple? I changed it. It looks better, don't you think? Oh, absolutely love this. And I hope you do too. So until next time, take care.